Namah Shivaya. I just want you all to know that I miss being in your presence. And as a human octopus, I miss touching you and getting my hands all over you in a way that might assist you in experiencing the possibilities of the postures a little more deeply, a little more sincerely. The mission statement of the Healing Arts Center is to provide sacred space while assisting others in their personal evolution. And that's my own personal mantra, my own personal sankalpa, in addition to the one of the Healing Arts Center, which is why our doors are closed right now, because we want to make sure that you are safe, and in no way would we want to be responsible for unknowingly participating in the transmission of the virus. So we're not afraid. We're just safe. A yogic act is one that harms none and benefits at least one, if not many. So because I miss you and I miss sharing yoga, here's a little snippet of love that I want to offer you. It's super homegrown. Like, I'm working on technology, and I hope to have online learning available for you very soon if necessary. But in the meanwhile, please accept my humble offering and be as gentle as you can as you watch it. Know that this isn't my thing. My thing is love. And so here's what love looks like today. All right? So let's begin oming in together. This is just going to be a little, maybe 30-minute practice. But I want to connect with you. So in the name of love, take a moment to find your yoga zone. And here we go. Let's share an Om. Uniting the two palms, self to self, head bows. We arrive at the center strike of our being. Svaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. That's the Gayatri mantra offered to Mother Nature, who is providing the backdrop for us today. Okay, so let's begin seated for a little bit of neck release. So I'm going to invite you to release your arms long and low behind you. Let your fingertips find the earth. Reach out through your fingertips to touch down as you lift your sternum and spread your collarbones. And then draw your chin deep into the notch of your throat, as if taking a deep, deep bow to the juiciest of you within. And then with your shoulders moving towards the back plane of the body perpetually, your sternum lifting to your chin bowing to your sternum, gently nod your head no, as if you were saying no. No more tension, no more dis-ease. Move nice and slowly as you feel this along the back line of the neck from ear to ear. Steady at center. Take a nice deep clearing breath. Exhale away any holding in the back of the neck. And on your next inhalation, roll the right ear to the right shoulder. And as you do so, see if you can have your fingertips facing the wall behind you. So there's a nice big external rotation. And so as your right ear finds your right shoulder, you're going to see what it's like to see how that feels. And then shoulder blades moving in. sternum lifting, beautiful. And then gently nodding yes. Keeping the shoulder blades hugging the spine. The collarbones spreading wide. Shoulders on the back plane of the body. Can't keep my hands off anyone. Right. Responsibly. Right. And then find something really juicy. Find something that feels kind of yummy. And then pause there for a breath or two. Just clear it out. Evict the squatters. And then on an exhalation, chin to chest, face cast downward. Take a clearing breath. Exhale. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Opening the lateral edge of the neck. And then on an inhalation, second side, left ear to left shoulder. And just take a moment to look for it. Just find where it is that feels juicy as you nod yes and take any movements that your body wants you to take to explore where you're needed in lateral neck. Soft tongue, soft jaw, soft eyes. And just feel the prana panel of that lateral neck from right ear to right shoulder opening up, loosening the grip. Then find the holiest of the holies. Find something nice and juicy there, something that calls and says yes. And then hang there for a breath or two. Let it go, whatever it is. And then release to center, chin to chest, face cast downward. Pause at center for a clearing breath. And then on the inhalation, right ear to right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest, face cast downward. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest, face cast downward. And just do this a few more times, symbolically encouraging a free flow, an ease of movement, not only in our bodies, but in our thoughts, in our hearts, as we navigate life. May it be easeful. And then next time, chin is to chest, pause there. And then slowly roll vertebra by vertebra as you stack your cervical spine, bringing your chin parallel to the floor. Beautiful. Yeah. And as the chin comes parallel to the floor, pause there. Release the arms to comfort wherever they want to be. Feel a buoyancy in the sternum, a buoyancy in the skull. And start to become lighthearted, lightheaded. These are very heavy times, potentially, but they don't have to be, right? So here we are, feeling a little bit more lighthearted in the cervical spine, a little bit more spacious in the cervical spine. And then we know the cervical spine mirrors what's happening in the lumbar spine. So let's go slowly transitioning from cervical to lumbar. Now what I'm about to show you is using what we've got, right? So what we've got here is a railing. If you do not have a railing available for you to get into your lumbar spine, you can do this exact same experience at the top landing of some stairs. Just find the landing of some stairs, get above the top step on the landing, and then you'll reach out and grab the lip of the first step. And this will make sense to you when you get there. And so Lauren, this is Lauren, those of you who don't know, my dear, dear person, Lauren. So Lauren is going to find her feet parallel to one another and as close together as possible. Inside edges of the feet parallel to one another and as close as possible. She's going to then bend her knees, let them open wide as she bends, and reach for the rail. And then she's going to slowly drop her heels down. And that's where the juice happens here, beloveds. As best you can, get the inside strike of the heels to the floor. And if that means you need to change your proximity to the rail or to the top stair that you're holding, let that happen. So the knees are slightly open, but they're not flopping, right? So there is a little bit of effort in keeping the knees from flopping open. She's holding the rail down nice and low to keep the shoulders away from the ears. If you're holding the edge of the top stair, your shoulders will naturally be down. Armpits pulling towards the waist, chin into the chest. So the back of the neck is long, and there's a lot of space from the base of her skull to the base of her neck. And then what is most juicy is to just begin dropping down through the sacrum. Yeah, right? juicy, dropping through the sacrum, dropping through the inside strikes of the heels like mad. Yeah. And dropping the shoulders, softening the tongue, softening the jaw, softening the interior, space between the ears, just softening in to the sacrum, the low back. And you'll be here for about 3 minutes or so in your own practice. And it's really about claiming inner space. Well, those of you who know me know that I have a very slippery relationship with time. So if you're judging, counting, clocking how long my 3 minutes is, remember, be sweet, permission giving here. Alright. And then for your last few breaths, Lauren, really guide it down into my hands as best you can. Like, just feel this happening in my hands so that you're breathing your breath into the kidney band. Yeah, my goodness. That's fantastic. Yeah. Deep into my hands. And remembering to continue loading the inside strike of your heels. Yeah. Alright, deep breath in. Hold it. Hold it for a moment of retention. And then a deeper breath out. And then from here, as gracefully as possible, no one's being graded on entrance and exit, just release your sitting bones to the ground. Yeah. And you are perfectly poised and set up for Baddha Konasana here. Now you decide how close you want your heels into you. And then for those of you who have the privilege of props, I'm trying not to use them today because I don't want to leave out anyone that doesn't have them. But if you have a prop, Lauren could put this prop up underneath her feet. Yeah. For a juicier experience. Maybe even too juicy, huh? Yeah. There we go. Yeah. And then spilling into the back pockets and slowly rounding forward. Yeah, getting into something. Something delicious. Something juicy. But once again, most importantly, we're continuing to open up this space from the bottom rib to the waistband, opening up the kidneys, opening up the back lung tissue. Yeah. And then we continue to have this great openness from the base of the skull to the base of the neck. Shoulders down, armpits down, and the inside strikes of the knees are falling away from each other. And once again, we just soften, right? Soft tongue, soft skull, soft belly, soft heart. And then let your awareness go into the places where you most feel this shape, wherever that may be, and take your breath into those spaces. And be incredibly generous with your breath. Where we feel the poses, it's perhaps where we're most needed in this moment. So let it happen, whatever it is you're feeling, and water the experience with your breath. Last little bit here. Soft and generous with the breath. Yeah. Good. Well done. Deep breath in. Deeper breath out. And then with as little effort as possible, slowly begin rolling up your spine bone by bone. Rolling on up to seated, holding onto your shins perhaps for support, pausing at the top to arrive. Yeah. And then if you have a block, scoot it out of the way, allow your knees to float to sky, and then And Lauren, I'm going to have you scoot around so your feet go to the left, your head goes towards the right. And then, in the way that makes most sense to you, you'll take pentacle pose. Coming into pentacle pose, reaching out through the four corners of the mat, actively pointing through the toes, reaching through the fingers, climbing out of your skin suit. Wiggle and writhe. Life is not a struggle, it's a wiggle. Yeah. And then soften. Soften everything. Pause and notice. How does it feel to be you? Where do you have this feeling of being you? Take your breath there. Acknowledge it. If you feel most alive in your heart, most alive in your hips, perhaps most alive in your sinuses because it's allergy season. Allergies. Make room for it all. Because maybe, just maybe, all life is workable. I think it is. And then from here, I'm going to have you slide your left foot to standing and roll over onto your right side. And then as little effort as possible, push off of the earth and support yourself in coming on up. And then I'm going to have Lauren come all the way on up to standing. And this is something that I want to share with you, beloveds, because we're at home, perhaps, and everybody has a countertop at home, or maybe a stool. This is a lovely stool for this purpose. So I'm going to have Lauren stand in Samastiti first. She's going to claim her mountaintop. Inside edges of the feet parallel to one another. Stand tall, eyes on the horizon, shoulders over hips. Yeah, just find your mountain, or stand in the center of your circle, as Native Americans say. And then you can use your hands up on the counter, up on the chair in whatever way, and begin to bring your right foot up into pigeon. Your right shin is going to rest up in the seat of the chair. Yeah, juicy. And then what I encourage is using what you've got. I would slide this to the inside so that you can use this to hold your foot in a gentle flexion without effort, right? And then the most common thing here is that we forget to load the heel of the left foot and really stand on the mountain in the left leg. So you've got beautiful alignment, Lauren. The inside edge of the foot is flush with the outside edge of the mat. You might activate the arch a little bit if you're so inclined by lifting and spreading the toes. Yeah, beautiful. Takes it to the next level, so it's okay if those feet want to lay back down. And then we keep everything in alignment. We try not to abduct this left hip away from the midline. So pull it in a little bit to the midline. Yeah. Right? So we have a tendency to abduct that left hip. You're just like, hug the midline with it and stand tall. And for many of you, this is plenty, especially if you're really dialing down through this left heel. But for those of you who want to, you can once again consider opening up this kidney band without abducting, without taking this left hip wide, and just come a little bit forward in your upper body if you're so inspired. But you may not need to, right? It's just about being in sensation. Yeah, beautiful. And so you'll see that her shin is perpendicular to her body. That might be a little much for some people, so you adjust as you need to. Find your way, and then use your countertop or your chair. Yeah, beautiful. However it best serves you, and somewhat finding symmetry. So I'm just here because I can be, right?
The challenge is the stool swings.
Yeah, if your stool swings, it can be a challenge, but it can also be fun, right? And then I would say drop this left lung a little bit. Yeah. And then here we go. Water the experience with your breath. Yeah. Be generous. Be kind. In your thoughts, with your breathing, with the entire experience. practicing this on the mat so that we can carry it out into the world, into all our relations. Being kind, being generous, being present to what's so, offering it our full attention. And again, in Yin Yoga, you hold these poses, I say 3 to 5 minutes and beyond. So it might be a little bit abbreviated here today, so I don't lose your attention. And then Lauren, slowly begin coming out of this. Yeah, beautiful. And whenever the chin comes parallel to the floor, you pause at the top. Notice. Deep breath in. Deeper breath out. If your surface moves, carefully navigate this as you switch to second side. Yeah, stand down for a moment in Samastiti. Come back to your mountaintop. Come back to the center of your circle. Notice whatever you may be feeling different from side A to side B. And then proceed into side B when you're ready. Befriend your surface, whatever it is. You know, it's work with it, make it work, adjust, modify. So what I would say is, you know, if your surface wasn't the right height for you, you could build it up with blankets. If you use a pillow, make sure it's a firm pillow. A vanity at the in the bathroom is more for people my height, perhaps. So make it work. All right, it's easier to build up than get into something too high and hurt yourself. So be responsible. And then she's very well rooted in this right foot. She's got beautiful alignment. I would just activate this arch just a little bit for a moment. Yeah, to get the earth energy coming up through this leg from Hasta to, from Parabandha up through maybe Mula, Uddiyana. Find her way into the spine, let the energy move. And then go into the pose if she needs to, if she wants to feel more. Really staying grounded in the pada, in the foot. Yeah. Beautiful. Breathing throughout the kidneys, throughout the Sushumna. Whatever your experience, meet and greet. Be with it wholeheartedly. Soften. Surrender. All sponsored by trust. It's okay to let go. Effort everywhere that you can. Family. Last few rounds of Dirga Swasam in this shape. Filling the belly, the low chest, the upper chest. Smoothing out out the nervous system, smoothing out the edges of the breath. The top of your next inhalation, hold that breath for a moment of retention. Attach anything hemmed up in the hips, hemmed up in second chakra, anything that no longer serves you, open the mouth and let it go. And then gracefully begin rolling up and out. Pause at the top. Clearing breath. And then with as little effort as possible, release the shape. And as you release the shape, slowly begin to work your way back down to the ground in pentacle pose. Stretch yourselves out in all directions, wiggle, writhe, push your front body down into your back body, come out through the fingers and the toes, and then soften. Yeah. Just be. Soften and be. Here, hug your knees into your chest. A little rocking side to side or whatever feels good on your low back at this moment. And then release your head down. And cross your right leg over your left. And let your right foot drop down towards the floor. For a moment. And if you want to, you can, this is similar to pigeon pose, what you were just in, right? Your right foot is down on the floor. You can use your left hand to push your right knee away a little bit to make it a little bit more pigeony, right? And you'll see that I'm holding Lauren's left foot from going astray. If you want to do this against the wall, you can do so. I'm just going to have you take a few breaths here. And perhaps you're feeling an openness in the lateral right hip on up into the lateral lung. Right? Just taking an experience of pigeon to the floor. And then I'm going to have you keep this shape and just float it back to center. Back onto your sacrum. Yep, there you go. Release your left foot to standing. And now cross your right leg over your left until your foot comes down towards the floor. There you go. And then slowly bring all of this over. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. All right. And then where the juice happens here oftentimes is once again getting a nice openness in the gate, in the waist. Creating lots of space from the bottom rib to the hip. Right arm is coming out long, right shoulder dropping down, but we're soft, right? We're soft in the elbow, soft in the bicep. And then Lauren will take her gaze in whatever direction is best for opening up pectoralis. So family, as you're in this shape, you can look to the right, see what that feels like. Look to the left, see how that feels. And then maybe interview to the ceiling, see how that feels. And your body chooses, beloveds. So you choose the orientation of your gaze that works best for you. And then you park it here. And you breathe into the juice, wherever it's presenting. Soften. Wherever you may feel postured or rigid, or wherever your shell of protection has shown up, just for a moment, because you can. Soften. Just because you can. Maybe that's why we practice yoga. To show ourselves that we can soften, we can let go. So, out in the field of Dharma, when the rubber hits the road, and we've been chronically contracted for a little too long, we remember, like, right, I know how to let go. Let me do that. Because that might be the greatest community service right now. Me softening. Me softening might serve my family, those around me. And then from here, I'm going to have you all extend your legs straight out, perpendicular to your body. So you're going to go out wide with both legs. And then perhaps not everyone has a strap at home. So just to show you, we've got a belt, just a gap belt, right? And without bending that left elbow so you're not wasting energy, you hold down on the strap as low as you need to, on the belt as low as you need to. And you just allow the belt to hold the shape. And once again, you come back into this openness of the gate of the waist, this openness of the gate of pectoralis. And there's no effort here, right? And we're breathing. And we're healing and we're feeling. In the name of love. Self-love. As always, you tinker around with these postures until they arrive within your being as magically delicious. And then you just be there. Breathing. Allowing your sensations to anchor you in presence. You're in a yin posture, the juicier it can become. So I beg of you to take your time and come back to these experiences with a little bit more length than I'm offering here right now. Just explore, get curious. Don't ever be limited by my words. Let them just be a portal, and your curiosity is your guide. Deep breath in. Deeper breath out. And then slowly begin to release your feet from your strap or your scarf or your belt. And then in the way that makes most sense to your body, roll back to center and arrive in pentacle pose for a moment. Remember, we initially find pentacle pose, and then we take a moment of effort in pentacle pose to find the potential. And then we soften. And we notice. And on the breath, we carry loving kindness to wherever it may be needed. We're being summoned from the interior. That's why we're here. We go there. I'm just going to have my model turn direction so you all can see as Lauren moves around, head to second side. You all can stay as you are. And then lay on your back body. And then bring your knees into your chest. Love on your low back. And cross your left leg over your right in some form of pigeon here, right? And then bring all of this to the floor to your right. So let a little pigeon come out. And then as you let your pigeon come out, you're just going to work your ankles a little bit for a moment so you can feel the experience, perhaps coming more alive. Sliding that left foot beneath the left knee. And then maybe using the right hand to push that left knee away. Really draping the outside strike of that left hip down towards the floor. Left lung is heavy, left shoulder is heavy. But lighthearted. Last few breaths in what we'll call the sideways pigeon. And then keep the shape as you roll onto your back. And release your right foot to standing. And let your left leg cross all the way down over your right, left foot towards the floor, and then let this entire shape come down to the right as well, to the floor. So this is just a gentle supine twist. Right? For those of you that want to do twisted root at this time, on both sides, please, twisted root is yours. Get a little bit longer in your left waist if you can. Let it be juicy, maybe in the lateral left hip, maybe in the low back, maybe down into piriformis beneath the buttock. No matter the languaging. Just dive down within yourselves and find the experience where this shape meets your body. Find the place where self meets self at that intersection. And breathe. Staying here for as long as it feels like good medicine. And when your body's ready, extending both legs perpendicular to your mat. And then from here, just to share in the experience, again, if you don't have a strap or a belt that works, maybe you have a scarf, right? So you just bring the scarf into the experience. And I would encourage letting the palm go skyward, nice external rotation with the upper arm bone to encouraging the opening of the collarbone, pectoral window perhaps. But there's no bend in the elbow, so the bicep isn't firing. And then this arm is deliciously moving out here. Yeah, for those of you that have the good fortune of having sandbags, you know where to sandbag. Nice and long in the waist. And then family, find the orientation of your head that best serves this pose, this experience. lives, in your relations? Where can we soften? And begin to bring in Dirga Swasam. Fill the belly, the low chest, the upper chest. A generous few rounds of your 3-part breathing. Bottom of your next exhalation, follow it all the way to the shore. Empty, 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 empty. Let go of every bit of the past. And then release the breath to its own intelligence. And release your feet from whatever's holding them. A strap, a belt, a scarf. And then from here, just give a gentle bend to your knees. And then slowly roll over bellyward from this direction, so you'll roll over in whatever way. And then as you roll over bellyward, push back into the pose of a child. And I invite you to start with your knees as wide as your sticky. And back into yourselves. And now from here, if you have the good fortune of a bolster or a zafu, you bring it into place for support. I've got you. And please know that we are still working out of the Healing Arts Center in drive-up business at Remedy Herb Shop. So if you would like to purchase anything for your home practice, you just give a jingle to Sangha Yoga Studio, 706-613-1143, and we will bring whatever it is you want out to the parking lot. So we are in Remedy Monday through Saturday, 12 to 5. You just call ahead, we process your credit card over the phone, and then you come, roll down your window, and we throw whatever you get into the back seat of your car. We're avoiding all contact with people whatsoever while still doing our very best to take care of the community. Okay, so we have straps and blocks and zafus and things like that if you want to invest in your home practice being a little more comfortable. We're here for you. And if you haven't already turned your cheek to second side, go ahead and do so. For your last few moments in child's pose, and scan your heart. Is there anything that you can bow to? I say there is. Scan the contents of your lives, a deep bow to every last detail. And lastly, we bow to all the saints and sages that have brought us this practice over the years, this 5,000-year-old practice of yoga, ancient wisdom from modern times. Aho. Deep breath in, deepest breath out. Slide your hands up underneath your shoulders. forehead to the bolster or the floor, and slowly begin rolling up with a bowed head, bone by bone, vertebra by vertebra. Pausing at the top and making a little sankalpa to perhaps maintain the gesture of humility and surrender that a forward fold invites. And then working your way to seated on the front edge of your bolster, your blanket, your pillow, whatever it may be. We arrive as we began, uniting self to self. The head bows. And we give thanks. A moment to get personal and juicy with your gratitude. Get juicy, people. Give thanks. Seal our practice with the vibratory kiss of an Om. Last little bit of housekeeping. Let's make a joyful noise. It's not about singing or performing. It's about vibrational medicine without sounding too hooey, right? So go for the vibration, people. Let it rattle your skull. Empty to fill. Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti. Shanti, Shanti. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. And may the light of truth overcome all darkness. Victory to that light. Jai Shri Satguru Maharaj Ki Jai. May we be good. May we do good. May we love all. May we serve all. Namaste.